Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. I'm Smart Mark Wiess, and welcome to the After Stream, Episode 3, Best in the World Edition. We have a lot to cover on what happened at Best in the World pay-per-view and the goings-on around the world of Viral Pro. So let's get right down to it. Tonight, we are kicking the show off with our fails. The Best of the Net tournament featured many Viral Pros best and a few big names from outside the league that made a few guest appearances tonight. Stars such as Brent Starr, Joker, Angel Fair, Toxic, Jacob Haas, and Khan were all in the tournament, to many surprises. It was great to see them, but those were 6 spots that could have gone to other Viral Pro wrestlers, such as Sid Reamer, Arthur York, The Ebon Hood, Matt Style, England, Mr. Wrestling Ash. You get the idea. It sounds like something in management is going on. Perhaps these guys missed the show completely. I mean, this is a big tournament, and they replaced 6 spots with guys who could have been there. It doesn't make sense. But speaking of Sid and Arthur, that brings me to my next fail. There were no shows at Best in the World, and we're supposed to face the Ebon Hood for the X-Rated Championship. Well, I'm sure you already know, for those of you who follow them on Twitter, but for the rest, the duo got wasted midday and passed out somewhere. We're not entirely sure where, we just got a Twitter picture of them passed out. So instead the match will take place next week on Extreme, though, you know, I got a lot of emails saying that people weren't impressed, especially since they like Sid and Arthur. I mean, they're hilarious. and they're brutal. I mean, jeez. Especially when Sid just, after Arthur does all the work and Sid just kind of comes in and steals the victory. I mean, that's just hilarious. So, my biggest and final fail tonight has to go to every Viral Pro superstar who fought in the Best in the World tournament. I mean, that was such a poor performance, and not one made it to the Final Four. In the second round, everybody had to face an outsider. One Viral Pro versus one outsider, and the outsider swept them. Maybe management doesn't like the current talent that has been producing, so maybe they brought in the hired guns for ratings. I mean, it would have been the perfect chance to put some of our Viral Pro talent over, but no, insisted they make them all job, and I'm just left to wonder. I mean, is something big on the way? I'll talk about this in a bit, but Caesar Screwjob's defeat, maybe in his frustrations he takes out a bunch of the underperforming talent in a limo ride. You know, I'm just wondering, but I've been right before, right? So, yeah. So, next we got my rant. And I have to know, why isn't anyone using the confessional more often? Is it because it isn't really private? Well, I think it could be an excellent tool for heels to use to get under their enemy's skins. I mean, it's very personal, and it would do the trick in a heartbeat. You know, I think it could be very good. Plus, you know, we just need more. I mean, I just feel like it's really been lacking that personal touch. So, it's been about 4 weeks since Neon was supposed to get Alexi Gates' makeover. Yes, we all know that she's been in therapy, kayfabe, but when will we finally get to see the young girl's new look? I love her, but I want to see progress. Maybe a tag team between the two once she gets made over. So, you know, it frustrates me. In addition, I mean, like, talking about tag teams, where are all the fucking tag teams? There's nowhere to be found other than Sid and Arthur and Jenna and Jinx occasionally teaming up. There are no solid tag teams in Viral Pro. I mean, that's probably why there's no tag team titles in Viral Pro. I mean, there's no good tag teams. But I mean, I have my ear to the ground, and I've been hearing a few things here and there. I hear there's a couple of tag teams on their way in. I don't know much about them. I think I heard one of them called the Grimes. I mean, I don't know much more about them, but I mean, that's the name, the Grimes. The other one, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So, you know, that's my rant for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, on to my wins. first win of the night, I personally love how Jinx was able to get out of defending her title when she pinned Ashley Milano in a tag team match to determine who would face her for the title. And this is the third week in a row that Jinx has pinned Ashley, and I think it could lead into something very heated if they were given free reign to do what they please and develop the feud. It could be very fun to watch indeed. I mean, I'm just saying. But then there's Jenna Storm, who fought with Jinx in these tag team victories, and the British lass could feel justifies that she deserves a shot. As long as the tag team stays together, I love it because the pair look very well together, and like I mentioned in my rant, we need more tag teams. So, my second win has to go out to Brent Starr, who showed up tonight and defeated everyone on his way to winning Best in that tournament. Ash, Cesar, Mathis, Jacob Cass, Khan in the end. I mean, either the match with Jacob Cass was possibly the match of the night. Another outsider who could have gained the upper hand in what was a very close affair. I mean, Brent even scored the very controversial victory over Cesar. I mean, based on what I've seen, this is just my opinion, but it looked like the refs were playing favorites and declared Brent the winner, even though both men left the ring, which is against best of the net rules, which everybody knows. Both men should have been DQ'd on the spot. That would give Mathis an automatic bye into the third round. I mean, that way at least one member of Viral Pro would have made it to the Final Four. But controversy creates cash, and it was probably the only way to have Caesar knocked out of the tournament without him actually being pinned, submitted, and without him steamrolling the competition like we all know he would have done. Probably a smart move on management's part, because like I said earlier, now Caesar's pissed, and he's probably going to take his frustrations out on a lot of people. My next win has to go to Colt Stevens, who picked up his first singles win over Christian Goodchild to boot. I mean, way to go, Colt. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Even though you had that briefcase, you never had a singles match, and now you have one. Against the man who is technically the number one contender for the world title when they finally decide to determine who's it going to be. It's too bad that Khan destroyed you in the second round, though. I mean, oh my god, he just walked over you. But still, a good show in the first round. It's great improvement. So, my final win of the night has to go to Nate Michaels, Big Red. Not only did he retain the title in his very bloody physical cage match against both Benson Dane and Christian Goodchild, but in the main event, he had to take on Brent Starr for the best in the title because Starr won the best in the tournament. And even though Starr had just finished fighting some very tough matches, nobody was expecting Nate to systematically pick apart Starr the way he did, with backbreakers, spine busters, side slams, all in under 10 minutes, and it kept the best in that title where it belongs in Viral Pro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think anyone was expecting the title to actually be won by an outsider, but when nobody in Viral Pro made it past the second round, I started getting worried. I mean, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Starr had to beat Michaels. I mean, would he have taken it to another company, taken it to the Indies? I mean, what would have happened? What would have Viral Pro done? I think that could have caused a lot of problems. Alright, so that's my wins for the night. Now, we're going to talk about some of the rest of the show. Now, on to our only debut of the week, we had the rich English blue blood, Ethan Quinn, taking on England. Yes, we all know who England is. Now, holy shit, this guy is huge. He dwarfs everyone with his massive size, possibly even bigger than Nate, and the man has the speed and agility to back it up. He's the whole package. So, I can't for the life of me why he had to lose to guys like England and Jacob Cass. The man could be an excellent heel, as we've seen in the house. I mean, people are already disliking him. But I hope he gets his act together, or else we're going to have another classic Mad on our hands. The lovely ladies looked, well, extra lovely tonight. So first we had a triple threat match between Kira, Jenna, and Lexi. First off, congrats to Lexi for picking up the win by reversing the Hurricanrana pin on Kira to pick up the win. And it seemed like Jenna Storm was just so tired from the beating she took that she just couldn't get to break it up. Uh, I love Lexi's new look. It makes me want to know what happened between her and Ash in the couples therapy. What happened to make her break and come out very Harley Quinn looking? Jenna, like I said though, Jenna Storm also performed well. She's easily one of the best women in Viral Pro. She can be put in any match and she performs well. So, I think that, like I said earlier, she deserves a shot at the Hellcats title. I mean, she deserves it. I mean, she earned it. I mean, especially after she lost the Vixens Championship match at Risky Business. But I mean, at the best in the world, we had we had the Vixens Championship match between the Queen of the Scene Madison and the Vixens Champion Raven. What a fun affair that one was, wouldn't you say? These two Vixens had unfinished business dating back to their Atlanta days. The match was exactly what you would expect between these two ever since her win at Risky Business. Raven has been on a roll, retaining the championship and holding on to it for 2 solid months now. I mean, that's an impressive feat nowadays, especially the way the Hellcats title looked. I mean, it seems like nobody can defend it past 1 week, so congrats to Raven for holding on to it, adding a little bit of credibility to it instead of it changing hands every month. Alright folks, now we're going on to a new segment called Around the League, where we take a look at the goings-on around the world of Viral Pro that doesn't directly involve any feuds or matches. So, to kick things off, let's start with Mark Wiess, who due to injury while wrestling Mr. International has been sidelined for at least 3 weeks. But the way he's handling the injury has really irked some of the wrestlers, especially J-Mod, who seems to be taking it personal as Mark is being pushed around in a wheelchair. I mean, is it really that bad? I mean, from what I heard, I mean, it's only a few bruised ribs. I mean, it can't be that bad that he has to be pushed around. I think there's some heat brewing between the two, and it could very well blow up in the house. Some things could be broken. It could be very fun TV. Now, next we have Madison, who has been told by Ashley Silva, the boss, the person who writes my enormous paycheck, it's not that big, that if she doesn't win the Vixens Championship by the end of the year, that her contract will be terminated and she'll be sent back to Atlanta. Well, after a Ravens Rest super kick, it doesn't look like Madison's in very good hands. With only one pay-per-view left before the new year, and the Vixens title only defended at the pay-per-views, it's unlikely she'll get another chance. So, this is my farewell to Madison. I can speak for many of the men who watch this show. You will be very, very missed. Yes. Yes, you will. Speaking of Raven, though, she and her on-screen boyfriend, Nate Michaels, have been spotted at a local bar a night away from the cameras. The night went sour, however, when she was confronted by another woman who got verbally abusive with her. Not everyone is a Raven fan, but there was no need of this. Hopefully it all blows over and it was just a one-time thing and we can all move on. So, that was Best in the World, folks. We had a lot of great matches, a lot of upsets, a lot of surprises. And that's it for me. I'm Smart Mark Wise, and this episode of the After Stream has been brought to you by the new movie The Guardians, a fun-filled time for the whole family, and Mars, Recharge on Mars. And finally, Viral Pro 13. Stay up to date with this ever-evolving wrestling game as it happens. Alright folks, if you enjoyed the show, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you would like something mentioned in next week's After Stream, remember to email me at theviralsmartmark@viralpro.com. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at viralsmartmark. Alright everyone, that's it from